to go. We're live.
Cheers to the new year.
Cheers to the new year. Cheers to us. Cheers to Cue the Chaos.
Cue the chaos. Because, bitch, we are mic'd, and it's time to get messy.
Mike and Messy. Let's go.
I mean, I think the most important thing is to talk about how we got here.
I know. Hey,
The
Alex.
last time everybody saw us on TV, we were literally fighting.
It was crazy.
And I think the next time everybody will see us on TV, we will probably be
Fighting again. Yeah. It's just our dynamic. You know, when the camera gets involved, it just gets a little...
It gets messy.
It gets messy. Yeah.
It's messy. I mean, it's chaos.
But we always, make up so fast.
Last time everybody saw us, we were at my son's sippancy.
Sippancy, yeah.
And we were...
I popped up with Steve.
You
didn't know we had been
There's a lot.
dating for a minute. And
I think that's actually probably where we should start. I think people probably want to know what's the status of you and Steve's relationship.
Me and Steve are probably closer than ever. But really just only in a friend capacity now.
I said only in a friend capacity.
I mean, most of the time.
Is it because you have a fiance?
Yeah, I am. I got engaged. It was really crazy. I think maybe a month and a half after we shot that finale.
You got engaged?
Well, no, not I got engaged. But I think that, I think everything that happened was a lot for Steve. And he totally wanted to kind of decompress from the situation. And I wanted to decompress because you guys have a long-standing relationship, obviously.
And I'm pretty sure he's autistic. He's definitely on the spectrum. There's nothing wrong with that. Clearly, I will date somebody on the spectrum. I have no problem with that. But I mean, come on now.
No, it was a lot that happened, and I think that break was necessary for us. But then during that kind of break time, I met my fiance now, Luciano, and we just it was just all gears on 100. It was almost like a lesbian relationship, between
you and Luciano. So you guys do a lot of scissoring.
Every now and then.
Does that mean you guys are both bottoms?
No, that's not what that means. We we're like a
double
dreidel. You spin us, and we'll just figure out where we're gonna land that day. But, but no, I mean, as far as from when we first started dating to when we actually got engaged, it was 4.5 months. Okay. So it was fast, I feel like that's where me and Steven left it off at, but we're good now. We're actually really good. Honestly, I feel like my relationship is better with Steve now than it was then because I can genuinely laugh with him and joke with him and he's just I feel has also grown as a person too. And he's really doing amazing stuff with music and just I don't know. I'm kind of more into his vibe now than I was then.
I'm just waiting for Steve to actually get a successful rap song, so we can just end up on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
I would love that, right?
So we can just go to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Y'all know I know Mama D. Mama D is my girl. Delora, hey boo. You guys know. Fun fact: I used to work for Mama D years ago.
I know. I remember that.
Mama D, Scrappy, the whole Love and Hip Hop season 1. I was right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So, I mean, okay. Well, Steve is always a part of my life. So, as you guys know, Steve's never going to go anywhere. I mean, he's just always, I guess, a phone call away.
Yes. Phone call or a FaceTime.
Steve's always a phone call or a FaceTime away. I mean, our relationship is great. He has been so busy doing all of these new things that I'm so proud of.
I know.
But I think that just in the ups and downs of it all, I think with all of the champagne that was flowing at the party, that it just made for just a chaotic time. But, I mean, I feel like it was not too deep where me and Marcus weren't able to, repair our friendship. So I feel like now we're in a great place.
I do. And I think, too, the one thing that I've seen people say is that, it was staged and it was fake. And it was no, we were really, in the moment, everything about that was so real.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. And then also, I mean, editing always plays into it.
Yes, for sure.
There were some things that were said that was...
Yes.
edited out for the betterment, I feel like, of everybody who participated in the show.
Yes.
So I think that the overall outcome probably seemed a little bit more dramatic than the situation.
Yes.
But that's because there was a lot that you guys did not get to see.
I agree.
The night of the sippancy.
Yeah.
Marcus had some real loose lips because he had been sipping on the $2.99 brute that I had got from the pros.
You did. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think we bounced back really quickly from it. And I'm glad, and I'm glad that we're like in a better place now, and
now doing this podcast,
and now we're doing a podcast talking about all the things we talk about.
We're going to talk about so many things, a wide variety of reality TV,
yes,
personal life,
yes,
what's going on with my reality,
yes.
We're going to talk about all that. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into 90 Day, Last Resort,
yes,
maybe some Sister Wives. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cody Brown creeps me out. Some
That's
Bravo, some Real Housewives.
Yes.
I don't think that I have actually said it out loud, but I know a lot of people have been like, "Oh my God, what have you been filming for? What have you been filming for?"
Yeah.
And I don't know if I still can technically say yet, but
I think we can say that
say
we've been filming a project that's not TLC related.
It's a Bravo
It's a Bravo project, and it should be out very, very soon. So there'll be more context on it then.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble with anybody, so I don't want to
No.
spill anything over there. Because
Yeah.
if Bravo wants to give me a job, I'll take it. Because that Bravo coin was real
Bravo
cute.
check. Yes.
It's real cute. Clink,
Real
clink, clink.
cute.
Hey, Auntie. I know you got more where them cash app came from. So I just think realistically, people now just need to know where we're at. So we're in a good place.
Yeah.
We're not fighting.
No.
Even though the next time you see us on TV, we will be
We
fighting
might be.
again. We will be fighting again. But it didn't start that way.
No, it didn't at all. No.
Life.
No. Life. Literally life. Yeah.
Child.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I am acting up. It's very out of character for me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you excited for 2025 though?
I'm so excited for the year.
What do you feel like is your number one like goal for this year?
I just want to like put myself on every public platform that I can get.
Yeah.
The whole Country Wayne universe and becoming a character in there was completely out of the blue in 2024. So I'm hoping to be able to do more of that in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, our podcast and hopefully success with this for
Yes.
2025. I mean, and I think the one thing everybody probably really wants to know about is probably season 3 for 2025.
Right?
All I can say is Steve is here in the room too. But all I can say in regards to season 3 is I think there are articles out there that may or may not confirm if there is a season 3 or not.
Yes.
However, I have to have very specific permissions to say anything. So what I will say is, if hypothetically speaking, if there is a season 3, and if they have asked my family to come back in our storyline for season 3, we are open to it as long as the dollar is right. Because I mean, I told you guys, I'm Beyonce, B-E-Y. So if you want me back, you gotta hypothetically.
I agree with that. Yeah. I think that is the perfect answer. I think it's all about, as you start to do more, especially in this type of space, you want to be recognized for your talents and you want to be compensated.
I just want to be compensated for my time.
Yes.
That's all. Y'all don't know, like, it's a reality show. They're filming me all day. Like, come on now. Give me some of that. Give me a Trump check.
Well, that's the thing, too, is I think that people don't understand. Sometimes you film for hours and hours to only see 15 minutes, 6 minutes.
When I tell people the biggest experience with that was season 1, and I think it's episode 4 or 5 when we go and meet my family and we're at my dad's townhouse.
Yep.
And that's maybe like a 3-minute scene that we filmed for 4.5 hours.
Is that
4.5 hours.
That's not the scene where you got mad and you left Caroline, right? Oh,
yes,
sorry.
that's the scene where I got mad and I left Caroline.
Is that really what happened? Tell us now.
I don't know.
What's the behind the scenes tea?
Child, I'm under contracts and I'm trying to get another check. So I'm not gonna say too much, but what I will say is, if you watch the scene, the entire scene from the time we arrive and the car we arrive in to the time we leave, and the car that I leave in, I mean, just watch the show.
Okay.
And that's all I'll say.
Heard. Because I will say, me watching it as a viewer, I was like, damn, not the producers had to give Caroline her a ride home.
We're just going to leave it at that. She got home.
I just wondered who was driving.
I know I drove myself home.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
There we go.
There we go. Oh my gosh.
What do you feel like is the biggest like misconception about you that you hope that like people listening to our podcast can really like learn?
Let me tell you what the biggest misconception is, because I'm so tired of people saying this. People think I still want Steve.
Oh.
Steve is like a 2012 Mercedes, and baby, don't nobody want that, because that ain't nothing but a bunch of problems. Been there, done that. Like, I don't, like, there, I do not want Steven. I had him, been there, done that. Not,
Got the t-shirt.
Not circling back, right? Like, it was an experience. It was a time.
Yeah.
It's over. It's done. And I don't understand how people can't understand that you can, like, still be friends with somebody that you were once in a relationship with. I don't know. I just don't feel like it's...
Well, I think that's the whole premise of the show, You, Me, My Ex, which is so interesting because I feel like you, Caroline, and Steve really embody that. Like, how can you have somebody who you were intimate with and you were close with and you thought you saw a future with, and then that ended and now you're with a new person, but that person's still involved? Like, how do both sides feel? So I think some people aren't able to distinguish that because they don't understand how can two things be true, and especially even more so because clearly Steve is male and your current partner is female.
And I just think that that really came from the fact me and Steve were so young when we met. Like, I was like 22 when I met Steve.
Yeah.
And it's like we were in a different place. So I think I was able to grow up and mature and appreciate that for what it was. And I mean, and that's all it is. It is what it is. I don't have a single ex that I don't want to say that I don't, like, not talk to, because I'm not, like, just talking to all of my exes, like, hey, what you doing? But there is no bad relationship. I literally had one email me, like, maybe 3 weeks ago and was like, oh my God, you literally always said you were going to be married to a woman and have kids, and look at you now. And I was like...
Shut up, really? Wow.
Cheers. I called that one.
That's crazy, really.
It is. So, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. There's just never any bad blood, because I feel like if you genuinely loved a person, you will always love a person.
Yeah.
You can't just all of a sudden go to hating them. And if you do, it's because you guys didn't know each other, and that was like lust, not love.
Yes, I agree with that. I think there's always a level of friendship that's always there. And, you know, when you're getting into a relationship with somebody, that has to be the basis of it. So it never goes away. Even as much as you want it to, maybe sometimes, I think it's always going to be there. I think some people clearly try to separate that, so they don't understand. They're like, oh, well, I love this person, but, like, I don't want to like them anymore. I don't want to be around them. So I don't see how somebody like Alex could be around Steve if that's the person that he loved and he was around all the time, and now it's different, you know?
I mean, like I said, it's just like a 2012 Mercedes. It might look good, but do you really want them problems?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, it's interesting because when I see stuff online, I think people have certain, opinions about things. And I think the one thing that I always see, or I'll say the two things I always see people say that, like, Alex is still in love with Steve.
All the time. And Steve, how long have you been broken up? It's been like 8 years.
It's been a minute.
It's been a long time. It's literally been so long.
You guys were...
I was starting and bopping. Well,
I mean, but y'all were still, like, hanging out and stuff when me and Patrick were dating.
Well, that's because Steve was my go-to person. Steve had nothing going on. So I always knew, like, if it's a couples thing, I can invite Steve so I wouldn't be alone.
Like, we always went on double dates. Yeah. We always, did stuff together.
It was like other people on a date, and then me and Steve were there. Yeah. And it's like, I just won't go show up by myself. Y'all not about to have me thinking. Like,
no, but you know what, too? I think the other thing I always see online is people are like, oh, Alex and Marcus are so thirsty to be on TV, and, like, they're begging people to put them on television, and, like, I swear to you,
like, it just happens.
There's one thing I will tell y'all that happens with television is you don't just happen to just be on TV.
Right.
Like, people seek you out. I've had people who have hit me up, like, years later be like, oh my God, did you know Alex was on, MTV True Life years ago? And I'm like, of course I knew that. But, like,
I've been on camera since 15.
I know, but, like, of course I knew that, but a lot of people don't know that, so they think, like, oh, he's just been so thirsty to be on TV since then. I'm like, these opportunities don't come just because you want them, trust me.
They don't, because, I mean, if they did, everybody would do it.
Everybody would do it.
And I will say, when I ended up, I will genuinely say, True Life piqued my interest for reality TV. And not necessarily reality TV, because there's different genres of reality TV. But I enjoyed the fact of being able to share my story and my experience. And I thought that it was cool to be able to document that. And I also think that it's cool that that is something that I will always have to be able to look back on. Like, I will always have this DVD of that experience. I will always be able to go back and watch this video when my mom is gone or when my dad is gone and, like, have those moments. So
awesome. No, I love that.
I think that's what made me say, oh my God, I would love to be able to have a reality show based about my family's life, because it's essentially like a home video, and who wouldn't want to get paid to hang out with their family?
No, for sure.
I mean, essentially that's what the Kardashians have turned into, an empire.
That's what it is,
So I did not, when the opportunity for You, Me, and My Ex happened, it's really funny, because instead of actually initially filming the show with Caroline, even though we were dating, I actually asked one of my friends if he would pretend to be dating me, and it was going to be me, Steve, and him. But then I was like, you know what? No. If I'm going to go on TV,
you wanted to be real.
I was like, I'm going to be super real, and I'm going to be super forthcoming, even though I was super uncomfortable with a lot of it. I really think that Ashley Darby from The Real Housewives of Potomac is a great reality star, because of how forthcoming she has been about everything from her husband's affair to her dad not wanting her, being evicted as a child, just all of those things. I feel like I always connected with her, and I feel like she's lasted as long as she has, despite being super dramatic, because of being forthcoming. So I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do it, I'm going to be forthcoming. And me and Caroline sat down and we had a talk, and we were like, hey, if we're going to do this, we're not going to put on a version of ourselves. We're going to be ourselves. And it's funny, because I think that people saw that we were natural and we were ourselves. And fun fact, when we started filming the show, maybe about halfway through filming season 1, they were like, we love you guys, but we're going to make you guys a B storyline, because they're just other people with more things going on. And I think it was like, we were in the first 2 or 3 episodes, and people were loving us because of how just interesting and authentic we were. And they came back, and we started refilming, like, all of our interviews and things. They were like, people are into this. And fun fact, if you go back and watch season 1, we're the only storyline that's in every single episode in story 1 in season 1.
Yeah. No, I think that, you know.
And also, fun fact, season 2, we filmed season 2 for a full year.
A long time.
Compared to everybody else.
A very long time.
For like 4 or 5 months. We filmed a full year. We filmed from April to April for season 2, because of the fact that we were pregnant, and like they wanted to keep it hush-hush at first. Then they didn't know when they were going to launch the episodes. They're like, you guys can announce your pregnancy. But we literally filmed from April to April. For season 2.
You filmed for a very long time.
We filmed for like 360 out of 365 days for season 2.
Yeah, it was a long time of filming. I remember you telling me that. I remember Steve telling me, obviously. It was, you know, like you said, I think the whole reality TV thing is interesting, because I think you've also been presented with other opportunities before You, Me, and My Ex. I've been presented with other opportunities, you know, before, after, during. Like, I think even now we've had, you know, things that have approached us, just because I think people look for not only dynamic personalities on television, but they want somebody who's real.
And also, people don't understand how hard it is to be on TV.
So hard.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
I used to make fun of Gigi Hadid on Beverly Hills when she was like, it's so hard to be a model. You have to, like, be nice to people and, like, take pictures. And I was like, girl, stop! But no, you really do. And it sounds stupid, but it's like, the reality of life is every day is not a good day. And there are days where, like, I do not want 12 people in my house with cameras.
Of course.
Interrupting things to film a show. But, like, I signed up for this.
Yeah.
This is what I signed up for.
Yeah.
So then it's like, you have to sit there and you have to be nice to people. Because there's literally 12 strangers in your household. Like, you guys see me and my wife sitting there having a moment. Me and my wife see 12 people staring at us to film a show.
There's the 3 camera people. There's the audio person. There's the 2 producers. There's the people in Video Village.
There's just so much. And it's
much.
like, to most people, I think that you're just like, oh my gosh, it's just like, oh my god, a camera's just following you around. It's so much more than just a camera. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that it's been a great experience. You know, like I said, if hypothetically, if there's a season 3 and everything works out contractually and we show up, great. And if it does not happen, great. But, I mean, I've always known that You, Me, and My Ex was not my everything. It was just like my introduction to the world. So,
Yeah. Would we always say, here come the Hinds?
Here come the Hinds. That's what everybody wants to see.
So before we end, though, is there any, like, I don't know, any other hot takes, anything you feel like people should know that maybe they might have some burning questions about that you want to answer? Because going into the podcast, obviously we're going to be talking about so many other topics and things, and I don't want any of your fans of the show to feel lost out on anything they maybe not know.
I think everybody just really wants to know, is there a season 3? And all I can say is there are articles out there that either confirm or deny season 3. So you'll have to just Google that and see what you can find.
But let's say this. How are you or Caroline? How are the kids? And
Caroline
how is that?
and I are fine. The kids are fine. Our whole life is fine. We are getting ready to move into our newly built building. We're so excited. It's so gorgeous. It's so beautiful. We'll have so much new content coming from there. So, I mean, all you guys have to do is just stay tuned because I'm going to be giving you guys so much all of 2025. There's going to be so many things just popping up.
In the words of Sheena Shea,
It's
all happening. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Well, Alex, let's just do us a final cheers.
Let's just
to
do a final
us,
cheers for being mic'd and messy.
Mic'd and Messy, friends, and an amazing year and some great content to come on this podcast. And also, you know, able to give you guys the truth because you guys are going to hear and see a lot over the next couple months, I'm sure. And we're going to be...
that Nene and Kim always should have been. This
Cheers.
is like cheers.
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 Yeah.
Cue the chaos.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all soon.
See you soon.
Bye.